Well, everyone, this one might be harder to do than the other ones, but I feel like I had to do it. I feel like a lot of people still own the iPhone 6, and a lot of markets, even a lot of countries, they're still selling the iPhone 6 as like a brand new phone. I've been to Walmart, I've been to so many places, and they're even selling them sometimes there, and if they're selling them there, they're probably selling them in other places. So these are some reasons as to why you should still pick up an iPhone 6 in 2020. Now, this is not going to be an exhaustive list. I have a couple of things, and some of them might seem stupid, but for a phone that came out in 2014, it's still pretty impressive of the things that this phone is still able to do, in my opinion. Now, if you want to pick up an iPhone 6, you can get one on Amazon for really cheap. I'll find the cheapest one on there and link it down in the description. You can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time. But also, I'll leave an iPhone 6s down there too, if you want to pick that one up over the iPhone 6. But the first thing would definitely be the price. You can pick up an iPhone 6 for so cheap nowadays. They're literally like Tic Tacs. And when you buy a phone like that, you don't necessarily freak out about, oh my god, if I drop it, I don't want to take it with me. I'm afraid I'm going to drop it, this and that. With a phone like this, you just kind of keep it, and then, what happens, and you're not freaking out about it too much because you didn't pay that much of a price for it. To give you an example, with my Galaxy Z Flip that I spent $1,400 on, I'm scared to even take that out of my room because I'm afraid if I drop it, I'm going to break it. And that phone is super durable. Whereas on the iPhone 6, you can probably pick one up for like $50 to $70 and then be set for a while. And when you compare it to a lot of other phones that came out back in 2014, this one has definitely held up pretty decently in my opinion. So in terms of the price point, that's one of my favorite features about this phone, especially now in 2020. But the main thing and one of the favorite reasons why I like the iPhone 6 right now in 2020 is the repairability. This is one of my favorite and most important things when I look at an older phone. It's very, very cheap to repair an iPhone 6, and at the end of it, dude, it's actually pretty easy to repair an iPhone 6. If you have some basic knowledge of taking apart things and putting them back together, you can pretty much get an iPhone 6 and repair basically almost anything on this phone, as long as it's not some like severe crazy thing. If it's something basic like a screen crack or the battery's bad or whatever the case is, you can do it for very, very cheap. And I'll give you an example with like my iPhone 11 or my 11 Pro or iPhone XS even. Whenever you repair those phones, it costs so much money to, even the screen for the iPhone XS is like a couple $100, you know what I mean? You can pick up an iPhone 6 for less than the screen of an iPhone XS, and you can repair anything on the iPhone 6 for super, super cheap. Screens are like $10, $20, batteries are like $10. Like I said, I wouldn't be scared to bring this around. If I drop it and I crack it, it's not the end of the world, it's okay. So that's one of my favorite things about this phone for sure. The third thing is that it's still kind of getting software updates, for a phone that came out in 2014, a whole 6 years later almost. It's still getting software support, which is pretty impressive. It got iOS 12.4.6, I believe, or one of those versions, and it might even get another one very soon. We really don't know. And I think because of this phone's software support lifecycle, it's kind of changing the way Apple's releasing their software. So before they would just release it, and then once the newer version came out, like iOS 13, iOS 12 would stop being supported. But now they actually supported iOS 12 devices along with iOS 13, which is really cool. So even though it didn't get iOS 13 officially, it's still getting those security updates, which is really cool. And that's one of my favorite things about the iPhone 6 for sure. The fourth thing would be that check rain jailbreak. And I've hit on it like 50 times in all the other videos, but it's definitely one of my favorite things about this phone 100%. You can get this phone on any version of software and you can jailbreak it, which is amazing. And even if you don't want to jailbreak it, which I would highly recommend you doing, especially if you own an iPhone 6, that would be able to unlock so much life from a phone. But if you get a phone like the iPhone 6 and you jailbreak it, that's, like I said, it's going to be unlocking so many cool features that even the latest iPhones do not have. And with iOS 12, a lot of jailbreak tweaks are supported, I think, more in iOS 12 than iOS 13. So that's a humongous thing right there. And I might be a little bit off with that statement, but without a doubt, that check rain jailbreak is one of my favorite things about this phone for sure. And I still love that so much. Now, the last two things are kind of like random things, but I guess I had to throw them in anyway. This phone does have the lightning port and the headphone jack, that huge combination. And with a lot of phones nowadays, obviously they're not even bringing in the headphone jacks, they're taking it out, but you have that capability of having the lightning port and the headphone jack on this phone, which is really, really cool. And the Touch ID, you still have Touch ID on this phone, and the home button. A lot of people might not like the bezel or the home button or whatever, but with that phone, you get Touch ID, which is a cool thing. And I still like a built-in fingerprint sensor over Face ID. I think I'm kind of getting used to Face ID now, but it took like 2 years to do it. I think with Face ID, it's a cool thing and I like it, but I definitely do like a physical fingerprint sensor over Face ID days. So those are just a couple of reasons, actually more than 5 reasons as to why you should pick up an iPhone 6 in 2020. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.